Welcome, everyone, to episode number 34 of Talkin Kentucky. My name is Coleman Scott, and his name is Caden Holmes. And Caden, I had to think about what number episode this is there for a second because we're getting up there, and it's hard to remember what number we're on. I'm losing count.
It is hard to remember. When you say 34, does that mean this is the DeAndre Liggins episode?
DeAndre Liggins was number 34. Who else was Oscar's number 34, isn't that right?
I think he is, yeah.
Isn't he?
I
Was
don't know, think
Daniel
about
Orton?
Oscar. Daniel
What about
Wharton?
Daniel Orton? Wasn't he? I think he was 30
I
something.
think he was. He didn't get many minutes, so it's hard to remember. But
A lot of
he still
stuff
went to
is
the NBA, though. He got more minutes than Shaden Sharp. Wow, I said Shaden Sharp's name within like 20 seconds. I'm
Oh, that's
sorry.
a new record. Well,
Uh,
that's okay.
Cody would be proud.
He would be proud to even be on here watching already. We got some guys in here. Hey, Clyde says Julius Mays was number 34. That's one that I did not remember. I
Wasn't he
wouldn't.
one of our top 10 free throw shooters last week?
He was top 10 free throw
Yeah.
shooter, and also wouldn't have known that if I didn't have those stats. Didn't know his number,
Tubby
free throw
player, I think.
shooting, any of that. It's National Hot Tea Day. A cup of tea for breakfast, lunch, and dinner is never too much on this day. Kane, I can't really remember the last time I had a cup of tea. I'm more of a coffee guy, but are you a tea drinker?
I like coffee more, but I'm not gonna lie. When I was in Houston, I had some green tea every now and then. So
That's good.
I don't mind. It's good. Put some honey in it. It's pretty good.
I think we could all just use some nice get Kentucky fans collectively could use some nice chamomile stress relief tea right now, to calm us down from all our stresses that are going on right now. And it is healthy weight, healthy look day. Beef up or cut down on those carbs and put in some gym time too. I feel like all these January holidays have to do with health and getting back into shape and New Year's resolutions and that kind of thing.
Yeah, then you get to February and it's all about not being healthy. It's gonna be like National Cake Day, Cookie Day.
Something like that. It's National Pharmacist Day today. Our friend Josh, he's pharmacist, so it's his day today. He needs to be watching.
Yeah, I don't know if he watches it live, but he'll probably watch the rerun. He'll get a call out. He'll see that he's getting a call out on Talking Kentucky. So what more do you want?
Call out or a shout out? I think we're calling them out. What's the difference between a call out and a shout out? Is it call out? You have to say they're doing something wrong. Isn't that right?
Call out. I have no clue. Isn't it the same thing?
Shout out. I feel like a call out would has a negative connotation, but a shout out would have a positive connotation. I would think.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're shouting him out.
It's also National Kiss a Ginger Day. Caden, I definitely haven't kissed any gingers lately. What about you?
I don't think I've ever kissed a ginger.
Well, that settles that.
I didn't know this was getting personal tonight.
Oh, I didn't either. It wasn't my idea. I didn't say it's National Kiss Ginger Day. I mean, that's somebody else made that up and put that on the holidays here, so I had to read that. Clyde says he hadn't kissed anyone in years. I haven't either, really. But anyway, well,
he also said he's watching.
He's watching. Who's watching? Jay Wright? He said Jay Wright in the comments up there.
Wait, no. He's. I think he thinks we're talking about Josh Hart. We're not talking about Josh Hart, Clyde.
Oh no, yeah, Josh. We're not talking about Josh Hart. We're talking about another friend, Josh, who his last name is escaping me. So England, right?
Yeah, England. Josh.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Well, we got a lot of, I guess, isn't that right, Caden? There's a few things happening in Kentucky world right now.
Yeah, Coleman, what's it going to take to win another basketball game?
We can get into. If I had that answer, I would tell you. I don't have that answer, but we have plenty of time. That's what this whole episode is going to be, is talking about that kind of stuff. So, but first of all, I guess I should just say that I know we're all upset. We're all pissed. It's not a good situation in by any stretch of the imagination. And if you're looking for answers, we don't have answers, but what we can do is talk about it. We're all here, and we could just have a little roundtable discussion here. So, and we're definitely going to take your calls and things like that. So, but before we do that, before we take your calls, Cade, why don't we start this episode with something basketball related that's positive, which means that it's not about Kentucky since it's positive. So, Caden, you sent this to me earlier today. I guess it's not really positive; it's just funny. Texas A&M foul when they were playing Florida last week because they forgot their jerseys. And I didn't know that rule. Did you know that it's a technical foul if you forget your jerseys?
No, I didn't know that. But I was watching that video and I thought it was hilarious that the score was 1-0 before the time even started.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, because you're delaying the game if you forget your jersey. So I guess it makes sense that it'd be a technical foul. But wasn't it? I think it was just like one free throw instead of two
One
free
free
throws.
throw, yeah.
Well, I'll stop talking. I'll just roll the clip here. Texas A&M getting a technical foul for forgetting their jerseys and delaying the game. So let's check this out here.
As a backup, we are ready for Texas A&M and Florida as the Aggies make their SEC debut of this season, and Florida tries to snap a 2-game losing streak. But there's a fly in the ointment. Todd Golden told moments ago that the game will not start on time because Texas A&M's uniforms were left at the team hotel. So, rush hour traffic being what it is in Gainesville, somebody's got to scoop back there, pick up the jerseys and shorts, and come back to Exact Tech. And until then, Todd Golden and his Gators will get some more shots up, and we will be delayed until we can get this game underway. And after a 7+ minute delay, we are ready for some college basketball tonight. Texas A&M has uniforms and everything as they make their SEC opener tonight against Florida Gators, who look to snap a 2-game losing streak. Buzz Williams talking it over with the refs along with Florida head coach Todd Golden. We just got the clarification. Tom Hart alongside Jimmy Dykes. We got a technical foul to start the game on A&M, yes?
Yeah, Tom, by rule, it's one shot for an administrative technical foul, and then we jump it up and play basketball for the next 40 minutes. I've never seen it in all my years.
So it'll be Will Richard to shoot the free throw to start the game. 91% from the free throw line. And he'll get Florida a 1-0 lead. The priority when Todd Golden got the job from San Francisco after team meeting the next.
You know, I actually hadn't watched that clip all the way through yet, so I didn't know if he actually hit the free throw or not, but that may have been the throw that was actually made that I've ever seen. That was not a textbook free throw. It didn't look like.
No, but they said he was 91%.
Well, it looked like he was going to airball it there for a minute, but it went in. But of all the things that Kentucky has not done right this year, at least, Caden, we haven't forgotten our uniforms at the team hotel. I mean, that's a new one. I haven't seen anything like that before. That's for sure.
Yeah, whose job is that? Is it like the student manager or something to remember the uniforms? Who dropped the ball?
It's the basketball TA. Yeah. They've got to remember the uniforms. The basketball teaching assistant, I guess.
You know what that reminded me of? Remember the time we played Louisville and we had there was a double technical before the game even started because we were getting a fist fight already.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what that reminded me of.
There's a couple of things that have happened like that in Louisville game. Yeah, it's like gotten testy before the game even starts.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game when you're already throwing fists before we even play Louisville.
Oh, I miss those days. Man. We need to get back to it. But there's actually a lot of stuff to talk about in Kentucky World. Okay, and I always think like that there's not going to be anything to talk about for the next show. I'm like, what do you want us to say? We're bad. Where do we go from here? We suck, that kind of thing. But then there's always new stuff that happens, and we'll get into some of that. But before we do, Caden, we're almost on our Talkin Kentucky Facebook page. We're almost at 1,000 followers. I think we're at 990 last time I checked, and I'm gonna double check that right now to make sure I'm still right. And actually, we're at 991 now, so we gained a follower since the show started here. But we want to do something here. We want to try to get to 1,000 followers on our Facebook page before we get to the end of this show. So if that could happen, that would be fantastic. And then we could call this episode talking TK1K. We have like a great, like, it's like UK2K, but it's TK1K. We have a graphic. We're ready to post it, but we just need to get to 1,000 likes for it to happen. So we're at 991, and we want to see if we can get to 1,000 before the show ends. So if you're watching, do us a favor, help us out, help us try to get those likes. It would by sharing this video, something. Caden, do you think we can do it? Do you think we can get 9 more likes before the end of the show?
Yeah, I do, and I think we have a really strong, faithful following here. I think Clyde and Josh and Marsha and everyone can really get us out there. And I even put this graphic together before the show today because I really thought that we could get this done. So let's do it.
Oh, let's do it. I think we absolutely can. We started a new we're wanting to start a new segment on the show this year called Talkin 10, where we're gonna come up with like a top 10 or some kind of list of 10 things each episode. Last week we did the smallest 10 towns in Kentucky. And then we did something else, the best free throw shooters, right? Top 10 free throw shooters in Kentucky basketball history. Well, we thought it would be appropriate today to name the top 10 coaching candidates to be the next head coach at the University of Kentucky men's basketball program.
This is going to offend some people.
I think that would be. And so what we want to do is Caden and I are going to come up with the first 5, okay? And then for each person that calls in tonight, I want you to add one to the list. So when you call in, have your coach that you want to add to the list. It can't be one that we've already added. Obviously, it's got to be a new one, but come up with one when you call in to add to the list. And then hopefully by the end of the episode, Caden, we have 10 coaching candidates and we have 1,000 followers. And then, we'll be doing our job as a Kentucky podcast, I feel like.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to get creative. I mean, think outside the box here. I mean, Marsha, if you call in and you think you should be the coach, just say it.
Just say it. Yeah, it could be you. It could be anybody.
Coleman and I, we could have a pretty good duo if we coach the team, I think.
That's absolutely right.
We would make our free throws.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. We are white guys that can shoot. We can do that. But Caden, let's start off this list here. Okay, I'll go first. We'll kind of alternate here. I think I'm going to go ahead and say who we would all agree on, I think. And that's Jay Wright. I think we would like to have Jay Wright back. So I think he's got to be number 1 on my list. So Jay Wright, lead here in our Talking Kentucky list of coaches. Caden, who would be your first guy?
I'm going to go with the obvious second choice and say Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens. Oh, you think that's the obvious second choice, Brad Stevens? Okay.
He's up there. I think there's a pretty big gap between number 1 and number 2.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jay Wright's the clear favorite. At least here on Talking Kentucky, I think that's the clear favorite. Well, I've said this for a long time, Caden, and, I'm not ashamed to go public with it, especially after Wildcat Sports Talk started talking about it. That's Bruce Pearl, man. I'd take Bruce Pearl in a heartbeat. And, if you told Bruce Pearl, if you offered him the University of Kentucky basketball head coaching job, like he would say, all right, I'll be on a plane tomorrow. Where do you want me? Kind of thing. So I'd have to go with.
He's probably got his bags packed. Just the thought of the chance that Calipari might leave. So.
Yeah, he has it ready to go. I have no doubt. But Clyde has a list of coaches here in the comments. But we'll see what we get to. Okay, who's number 4, Caden?
I'm gonna say Billy Donovan, I guess.
Billy Donovan. Okay, even though he's
I don't think that would ever happen. Yeah, he's turned us down a couple times, so it won't happen. But I'm gonna say Billy Donovan.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can speak it into existence on this show. I mean, we're talking Kentucky. We can speak stuff into existence. That'll work. For my number 5, I think I'm gonna have to go with Scott Drew at Baylor. He's always been somebody that I've liked, and I think he's perfect at number 5. I think he's in the top 5. I don't necessarily think he's like my first option. I don't think he would be like a Jay Wright. I don't think he'd be a home run, but I think he'd be a plausible guy that would be a good option. So Scott Drew for me.
Yeah, and look at that. Look at Clyde's list there.
Oh well,
I think we all agree.
I think we all agree on that top 5. But we want to hear from you when you call in tonight. Have your coach ready to name. So whoever calls in first, we'll have them ready to go at number 6. And then if we don't get enough callers, we'll finish out the list tonight. But
hey, Coleman, not everyone's on the fire Cal train. I mean, Matt Short's up here. He's still positive. He thinks Cal's going to figure it out.
Well, and I hope he does. That's the thing. Let me be very clear. I hope that Calipari does get it figured out. Absolutely. That's all we can hope for, right? Because we've all said it a million times. We can't fire him. Like, the only way he's going to leave is if he wants to. And, he might go to Texas and things like that. Like, that's all out there. He could retire. There's a number of things. But he's not going to get fired. And all we can do as fans is just cheer on the team because, like, what else are we supposed to do, right? We're stuck with them. So we just got to make the best of it, at least for the time being. And that's all we can do.
Our number one preference is that he figures it out because when he is on it, there's no one else I would want, right, Coleman? So
that's right. When he's on, I mean, even a loyal BBN fan here in the comments says, I'm rolling with Cal, not the popular choice, it seems, but I will stick with my gut feeling. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's not we want him to do well. All we want to do is win. That's all we want to do. I mean, that's all. That's the one thing that would cure everything is just to win games. And I was up cheering for us against Alabama like it was the national championship until we got down by 30. But I want us to win as much as the next. So that's all that matters here. But we'll go ahead and we got a lot of topics to get to, but we'll go ahead and open the phones and take your calls as they come. So 502-234-1504. We'd love to hear from you. And be sure to give us your coaching candidate when you call in, or kind of thing. So just a fun list we're putting together. So absolutely. I'm sure we'll get a call here in a minute. I feel like every time I bring up a topic, then somebody calls in, and I would be correct because Clyde's already calling in. So I'm going to answer the phone here. So let's see. Accept. Okay, yeah, here we go. Oh, we had 2 people calling in at once. That's why. Okay. Well, Clyde, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
We're doing great. I remember that's the first thing we said on this on Talking Kentucky is, Clyde, can you hear me? And then we said it about 17,000 more times, and before you finally could. So, but anyway.
That was a very difficult time. And all of us, we survived that terrible storm earlier. I mean, heck, it wasn't even 9 o'clock in the morning. They're already talking about tornadoes. Like, seriously, come on now.
Oh man, I'm back
here like 3 a.m. last night.
I mean, the sirens were going like crazy, like nonstop. It was crazy.
Man, I flew. I'm back in Baton Rouge. I flew to New Orleans yesterday, and I was happy to get back down here before all those storms happened. So,
right. I got something to tell you all. Caden already knows this, but
all right.
I know you haven't heard this. I got some sources.
Okay? Oh, some sources.
So Tim from Wildcat Sports Talk. Okay, he heard this from somebody that told him Casey Wallace has been fighting with teammates in practice, and he shoved Oscar and he called Oscar a bitch.
Oh man, I've heard that rumor floating around. And of course, we haven't heard anything about that. Caden told me that earlier today.
Yeah, Clyde, I've already filled Coleman in on some of these things.
Yeah, he filled me in on that, but man, like, and of course we don't know for sure because we're not there and everything, so it's all scuttlebutt, at this point. But man, if that's happening, I mean, ultimately, if for whatever reason that it's going on, I don't know why it would be going on, but it's because it falls on Cal's shoulders to to get that worked out. I mean, team chemistry falls on the head coach, and whatever the source is, it's Cal's job to sort of get it straight. And yeah.
And my thing about it is like, you a teammate, you can't be doing that to your teammates, especially you can't do that to Oscar. I mean, out of all people you want to shove the nicest person in the entire world. Oscar, you're going to push Oscar, the most godliest man we know in Kentucky history, in my personal opinion. I've never seen a basketball player share his faith the way he does at Kentucky, and you're going to go and push him. If I was Casey Wallace, I would have been like, well, he's bigger than me. How about I just not do that? Because, Oscar, I'm sure Oscar didn't do anything back to it. I'm sure Oscar knows that Casey is frustrated. That's why he did not come back in the second half against South Carolina, because he was like, F this, I'm done. I'm staying in the locker room. I'm not playing. Because he's tired of losing, because I know he's a competitor. I know. I see it, the way he plays, the way he plays defense, the way he I know how his motor is. He wants to win, and he's a grit and grind player.
Those, and the rumors were, that he was having back spasms going on and stuff like that. The people sitting around the bench were saying that might not necessarily be the case. And, if you listen to Cal's post-game, press conference, the way that he talked about it, he was sort of like, well, he said it was back spasms, I don't know, kind of thing. Like that kind of makes me think it could have been like more than that, and again, we don't know for sure, but it certainly seems like there was some kind of external factors there.
Well, I don't believe Cal one bit, to be honest, because.
Well, why would you? I mean, he hasn't been completely honest with us about many things lately, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just who Cal is. But at the same time, Cal is known for protecting his players at any cost, and that's another reason why we have loved Cal, and that's why I love Cal. And he's always known for protecting his players, and but he's also the man in charge, and he's also the man that gets his team prepared.
Yeah,
and they go out there and they struggle, and like Jimmy Dykes said against the game against Alabama, he said, and he's totally right. Jimmy Dykes knows basketball. He's been announcing basketball games for years. He knows what he's talking about when he said this. When we score, it looks like it's on accident. And he's right, because we struggle to shoot. And when we go back on defense, we can't guard anyone. There's not everybody, any guard that's going up against Severe Willer, that's throwing the ball against Severe Willer, he blows right past him. Same with Casey Wallace. Casey Wallace isn't always on point on defense. Casey Wallace has allowed people to score on him. But, it's just been a struggle. And I think our guard play has been terrible on offense. I mean, we got the reigning SEC assist leader for 2 straight seasons.
Yep.
And yet he's struggling because all Cal does on the sidelines is yell the entire time, when he should just let Severe go to work and let Severe do his thing like he did last year. Because and I've heard, and I totally agree with, I think it was Jack Pilgrim or somebody said this. I think Cal is only good with players when they stay here for 1 year and then go, because that's
the one and done elites, absolutely. Yeah, I think that that's who he's the best with. And I saw an old clip of John Wall highlights from when he was at Kentucky yesterday. And just looking at those old teams, even like Fox and Monk, it just seems like totally different than what we're watching right now, because it is. We're not so I didn't mean to cut you off. No.
We're not good. And this team is what they are. And they're not going to get it figured out. They're not. They just are what they are. They're what's the correct word? They're a shit show. That's what they are.
Yeah.
And, it hurts because I've been a Kentucky fan all my life. I dedicate my life to Kentucky. Like, that is I base my life around the Kentucky Wildcats. And to see them struggle as bad with as much talent as we have on this team, it's just uncalled for. And by the way, those jerseys that they're wearing, They need to take those off because they do not deserve to wear those 93 jerseys.
The 93 jerseys. Well, yeah, you're nailing it. And really to summarize, and I think you probably feel this way too, my emotion after the South Carolina game was no longer anger, really. It was just like pure sadness. Like, this is just sad, at this point. So,
I mean, you saw my posts there in Facebook. Like, I'm sure you saw them. I'm upset. Who shot that last? I don't remember. After we lost, I was like, well, there goes another one. And I was like, oh well. I was not surprised at all. I really wasn't, because it's crazy because Vegas had us as a 20-point favorite, and I was like, that's dumb because we just lost by 26 to Alabama. How in the hell do you have us as a 20-point favorite?
Yeah,
against South Carolina.
No, I thought the same thing. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I thought the same thing. It was actually the second biggest loss in the Cal era with that large of a point spread. So next to Evansville was the only one that was bigger. So
Evansville beat us like that? I don't remember that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Evansville was the Caden was asking about Evansville here. Yeah, Evansville, the spread was like 25 or something like that, at least, I think. Wow. So
yeah, that loss pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
But obviously we didn't let that loss reflect our season, and I'm telling you, that team would have won the national championship. I don't care what anyone says.
I think so too.
That was a national championship team. We had dogs on that team: Maxie, Higgins, Emmanuel Quickly, Nick Richards. All them guys were dogs, and they have that mentality: I'm going to go and I'm going to beat you. I'm going to outplay you, and I don't care if you're in front of me. I'm going to score on you anyways.
Yeah.
And that's just how they played. That team was so much fun. And I hate that the tournament got canceled because I just hate it because we never got to see Maxie play in March Madness because, his high motor and his high energy.
And Richards was going off that year. Richards was going off too. So
Quickly was solid. Yeah.
Quickly. Yeah.
And he's going off in the NBA. Nick Richards is for the Charlotte Hornets. And he's, I didn't blame him for leaving after 1 year because after his junior year, I feel like he proved himself. I'm like, yeah, he deserves to go. And, you look at Bryce Hopkins, you look at Keon Brooks, they're totally happy where they're at, and they're lining it up. And I think Keon and, Bryce Hopkins, I heard he was miserable when he played here. He did not enjoy it at all, sitting at pretty much the end of the bench next to Shaden Sharp. And Keon Brooks just got tired of Cal yelling at him constantly.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of players feel like that. Absolutely. Yeah. At this point, I think that's a lot of what's going on. But, Clyde, who would be? I mean, your list was pretty spot on with ours to start off with. But who would your makeshift coaching candidate be here?
Nate Oates.
Okay, Nate Oates. All right. I think Nate Oates is a good basketball coach. I don't love personality, but I think he's a really good coach.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that I was also, like, after I typed in that list, I was like, oh, Nate Oates. I should have added him, but I was just adding 5. But, yeah, like I said, I would take any of those guys. I would in a heartbeat, no hesitation. And I know people can say whatever they want about Bruce Pearl, but he outcoaches Cal every single time he coaches against them because he knows X's and O's. And that's how he's successful. And that's how he beats Cal every single time.
Oh, agreed. But, and anything else, man, before we let you go?
I just hope we get it together. I'm expecting a 40-point loss Saturday. I'm going with 80-40 Tennessee. I think they're going to blow us out the water. We have no answers. And we're looking at a 10-7, 1-4 in SEC play.
Well, let's hope not. But, I mean, I think you're right. So.
Yeah, and plus they're retiring Chris Lofton's jersey. So, oh, my God. Imagine what that's going to be like. But,
I know, man.
That's really all I have. I'm going to sit back and watch the rest of the show, let other people call in. And, you guys are doing great. Keep up the good work.
All right, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Clyde.
Yep. I appreciate y'all.
All right, looks like we got Marsha on the phone here next. But Marsha, before you go here, Caden, we're already up to 994 followers, so we got
94?
a couple more. So
Man, I
hopefully,
think we're gonna get there. We're only 35 minutes in. Yeah, we're gonna get there. Easy.
yeah, I think we'll
I'm
get there.
recruiting for you, okay?
She's recruiting for us. Can she recruit for Cal too?
Yeah, can you recruit for Kentucky? Yeah.
I'm recruiting for you. I'm doing the best I can.
Oh well, thank you so much. But what's up, Marsha?
Okay, if I had to pick a coach, I can't say I disagree with any of you guys, but I don't think we're going to get any of them.
Yeah,
I like to have a coach like Matt Painter. Now, of course, that's Big Ten. Y'all might not like that, but I like his style, his calmness, and
Who did she say?
yeah. Who was that you said?
I'm sorry.
Who was that you said?
Matt Painter.
Matt Painter. I don't think
Painter. I know the name, but where is he at?
Yeah,
Purdue, guys.
Purdue.
Oh, Purdue. Okay. Well, that's why we haven't heard it. We have not.
Hey,
yeah, I didn't
Brady Welsh might get him there.
I'd like to have someone his style of coaching.
And what is his style, Marsha?
Exactly be him, but I like his style of coaching. He knows the game well. His players are on board with him. He's not out there screaming and hollering all the time, for sure.
Yeah.
But the team knows. He's not losing players. He develops players.
So what is his style of coaching that you like so much about him?
What I like about him is he does know the game. I mean, of course, everybody, it's Big Ten probably, but I like his style. I like his calmness, and he can make critical decisions and call that timeout and score at the end, because Purdue gets down to the wire too.
Yeah.
And I like his calmness that he can call a timeout. All right, this is what we're going to do, and we're setting up. And he does, because we still go to games up there, because I said my kids went there. And you think, oh, God, they're going to lose, but he'll call a play, and they end up making it, They're just hoping they don't lose easy.
Well, that's what we need is a X's and O's coach, because Cal, he's
no
X's
and O's.
Yeah, Cal's a great recruiter. I mean, he really is. And I mean,
Let me just say this.
I'm
going to say something positive about him.
Okay.
I think at the beginning, yeah, we loved him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did. And I think some of them still do. I get that. Okay. Because it's been so many years with him. But his recruits at that time were just pure players. And sometimes they can coach themselves. They don't need a coach. We haven't had a whole lot of that lately. In a few years we've had, last few 4 or 5 years, of really pure players like AD and the whole five.
Mm-hmm.
Like De'Aaron Fox and play last ones.
They didn't need him.
Yeah.
But he's exposed himself. And it shows. I mean, the other coaches are saying it. They can read him. You can't go in and do the same thing. I've never saw. I told you I would know in 2 minutes. I think I knew in 1 minute.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably knew quicker than 2 minutes on that game.
I did. I'm like, oh, I was thinking about you guys. I thought, damn, I wonder if they're thinking about me.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I didn't watch it, so.
Yeah, Caden didn't watch a minute of it. I actually didn't watch the beginning of it. I had something going on, but yeah, I checked the score, and it was like 21-8, so yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I really decided not to watch it.
The second half, I thought they would cool off a little bit. Usually a team cools off, but they really didn't cool off. But we played worse. I mean, we are totally out of sync.
We never led in the whole game. We never led. So
no, and
it's the worst SEC team.
But honestly, this is internal. This is internal now.
There's something going on internally, and
it's internal.
It all goes back to on Cal's shoulder, whether it's team chemistry or whatever. It's
You've got 4 coaches sitting over there. I wanted to say, which one of y'all want to be coach? Like, they don't care if we lose either. Well, one of them would step up and probably coach. I mean, that way. Like, they don't care either. And it's like, who's running the practices? You got 4 coaches over there. You haven't showed anything. You only showed worse. If anything, it got worse. And frustration really set in.
It really did.
Wallace, I saw him leave. I saw him pick up his shirt before the buzzer and take off. He was pissed.
Yeah.
for whatever reason, who knows at this point. But if it's muscle spasm, I'm sure we can work them out pretty quick. But to set out the rest of the second half, he was just plain pissed at that point. You know, it's internal. It's internal with coach. It's internal with Barnhart. It's with the coaching staff now. And it's bled off into the team.
Well, and that's
point, we're not stable.
Yeah, well, and that goes back to something you said. When a coach loses the team, is when things you know really go south. And that's when you know it's time for a change. Is when the coach loses the team. And I think it's safe to say, yeah, it's safe to say he's lost the team. So
yeah, I mean, I hate to say fire coach. I mean, there's a I love. Of course, we all did at the beginning. You know, but he's been really kind of exposed. And I think he's chased the team all over the place. And I think that's been an ego with him there. It's an ego with Barnhart, you know, and there just comes a time when you got to say, I'm done. You know, I'm done. Because you guys talk about when do you draw the line in the sand?
Right.
You have to. I mean, this is bad business.
It is. Well, anyway. And I know that Cal doesn't like to lose. I know Cal isn't enjoying this. He likes to win more than he wants to win more than any of us. I know that.
If you're a coach and you're embarrassing yourself, I'd be wanting to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, coach, come on. I mean, the kids are coming up and telling you, begging you to put this person in, that person in, and it's like, there's some internal problems between the team, the coach, the coaching staff, Barnhart, and none of us are going to have that say. It's going to come from Kentucky one way or the other. I don't know what the turnout will be because it's a business deal, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah. No, it absolutely is. Yeah, it absolutely is.
So Marcia, does he make it till next season?
I'm sorry.
Does he make it till next seson? Kaden said.
He should not. In all honesty, if I was him, I would not. What I tell you, I wouldn't want to have Shepard's dad or Wagner's dad sitting behind me coaching.
Oh yeah, well,
coach.
Yeah, I think Jeff. I mean, I think Reed Shepard. People say that we would lose Cal's recruiting class, and we would. No. I mean, if he goes to Texas, we'd lose. If Cal went
somewhere else, you really think that Shepard would follow him?
I don't think that's what I'm trying to say. Is Shepard wouldn't follow
Shepard wouldn't.
him.
Everyone else would.
The only one that would stay, Wagner and some of these other guys would leave. Yeah.
Wagner might, because Wagner was trying to choose between Louisville too.
Right.
But they weren't playing well. The only thing, what bothers me so is that he has to see this. We don't have any NCAA sanctions or penalties and that. What is wrong? I said we hit rock bottom at UCLA game right then and there, and it has gotten worse. Okay, what happened when they came back from the Bahamas? Something internally happened.
Yeah, because you don't go, and I don't care how bad those teams are, you don't go from beating teams by 60 to losing by 30. Right. So, yeah, it just doesn't happen. So
they played so weak. I mean, their skills were, I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't give a shit about free throws. I don't care about the referees. You've got to get a stable team, coach. I'm sorry. If everybody says, if we hit our free throws.
I care about free throws.
You don't look good. You don't look good. They will come if you get a stable team. If you have frustration and turmoil with players, friction, forget that. We've got to start somewhere else. And we've got to have to set up some type of place because if you notice, I watched Missouri play the other night, and they didn't look good until they got beat. And I'm thinking, everybody's going to play us the hardest anyway. So you're going to have to do some coaching, some serious coaching.
Now, that's true. When Cal says that we're everybody's Super Bowl, that's still true. I think even to this day, people want to beat it. Even if people don't fear us like they used to, people want to beat us because we're Kentucky. And also, I think because of Cal, I think people want to beat Cal. So
that's true. Because my son will tell you that. Oh, he hates them. And everybody up here. I mean, my phone rang off the hook in Texas. And I had to shut it off. Because of the rowdiness up here.
Yeah.
The Big Ten. They just loved every minute of it. And, and I'm like trying to explain, well, what have y'all done lately? Okay. I say go Purdue to them all the time.
Yeah.
They do get me. Oh, I need to switch teams. I said, no, my kids went there. I don't have to switch teams. I switch teams if I want to.
Mm.
You know, but you have to trash talk up here.
Yeah,
because
no,
they
sure.
literally hate us. They literally hate us. And oh God, it was just bad. And I'm like, even Oscar was pulled out from underneath the basket. They're not playing it. If you notice, they're jumping around, and then the team slides right around them.
Yeah.
Stay playing it. Quit jumping like they're going to shoot because they just faked you out. Okay? Stay playing it. They're not even at the basket. You know, and are we getting foul trouble that way? I mean, it's so obvious. You know, when is somebody just going to come out and just say it?
Oh, it is. It's obvious. Yeah. Yeah, we do. We want him to succeed and everything, but at some point, yeah, like you've got to adapt and change, and there's got to be something of what's best for Cal, whether that's to go to Tech if he thinks that he has better. Now, I'm a disagreement that he would have better facilities to win anywhere but Kentucky. I think if he can't win at Kentucky, I don't know where he could win, but. You know, I feel like at some point Cal's got to think about himself too. Like he doesn't want to go out like this, and he doesn't want this to continue to happen.
He with dignity and grace, and he's not going. Could I've done everything I can. I've decided to retire. You know, it depends on what he says.
Right.
You know, be truthful. You know, you could go out with great. I don't know what other team. Everybody thinks, oh, he's going. He's not going to Texas. I don't know if any team really wants him right now.
Right.
Because all the coaches are talking about him.
Yeah.
You know, and they said, you know, they stated, you know, he's easy to figure out. Well, no shit. I said, give me 2 minutes. And, you know, then you let your team loose on him. And then Cal is screaming and hollering. Not as bad as the last game, but like I said, poor Wheeler coming up the court, looking at him and trying to dribble the ball, looking at him, you know, what are you trying to tell him?
Yeah.
Your whole team should know. Let Wheeler run the game then. You know, he'll get him into position somehow. If not, he'll take it to the basket. Wheeler's the best point guard right now that we really, truly have. And I hate to see everybody put him down. Wallace, I think he might have an attitude a little bit. I think it showed.
And whatever happened, you know, I think the source of maybe all of our problems right now might be, it sounds like from what we're hearing this week, is team chemistry. So hopefully we can, you know, if we get that straightened out.
Chemistry comes from internally.
Yes.
Coaching staff and the fighting or whatever's going on, it's internal. Because your team can't be that messed up because they got even worse. And I'm like, in the frustration on their face, and Oscar saying, put this player in, put the walk-ins in. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You know, and so, like I said, internally, they're not happy. It's something. I feel like there's a coach on that team that's sitting on that bench would give anything for coach to walk out and get fired, and so they can step up and coach. It's just a gut feeling in the way they act. I'm sitting over there. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Stand up. Show us the real thing, okay? Because all you can see is a bench.
Well, that's very
hard.
Well, Marcia, thank you for calling in as always. And, you know, hopefully we can get all this stuff straightened out, and maybe, you know, we can start playing some Big Ten style basketball soon.
I'll just say one thing. I know we all love Coach, and I think the best thing for Saturday is for them to try to stay close to him. I think we would be satisfied if we stayed close, even if we didn't win. But staying close.
I wouldn't be.
Nailed would be really bad. That's just nail in the coffin for them, the players, obviously.
I just want us to play hard more than anything. I just want us to play hard. I just want us to go out there and fight. Caden just wants us to win. He's not okay with the loss. He just wants to win.
I'm a Kentucky fan. I prefer to win.
We try to win at any cost because every team is playing us like that at any cost because they don't got nothing to lose.
Right.
And it ought to piss them off.
Yeah, no, it should.
As a player, I'd be like, shove me around the shot, knock them on the floor. Let the coach call. Let the ref call what they want to call. If they don't call it, push and shove them.
Right.
Until you get what you want.
Right.
You know when to back off. But, that's how I feel too. And it was nice talking to you guys, and I'll recruit for you.
much. I appreciate it.
All right.
All righty.
Guys.
See you, Marsha.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling in.
Bye-bye. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Caden, we're at 994 still. So hey, we gotta.
No,
we
I
can
still
get
have
there.
faith.
We can get there.
Yeah,
We're trying to
get
get
there. We can post this awesome graphic.
Yeah, we're trying to get to 1,000 followers if you're just now joining us by the end of the episode. So give us a shout. Give us a shout, give us a follow, that kind of thing.
Coleman, our comment section is blowing up over here.
It is blowing up.
So Loyal BBN fan, I think, said this on his Facebook. He's rolling with Cal, not the popular choice, but he's sticking with his gut feeling. I mean, that's what we're saying. We want to stick with Cal. Like that's our first choice, but it's becoming like it feels like there's no change. And so at some point, like Marsha was saying, you gotta draw the line, right, Coleman?
Yeah, you do. At some point you do. But at this point, I don't care who is coaching. I just want to win. Like I don't care, who's coaching. I just want to win.
Also, thanks to Lil BBN fan for shouting us out on
absolutely.
Facebook. Yeah, he's awesome.
Dude, absolutely. Thanks for
I love his videos.
No doubt. And thanks for joining, Loyal BBN fan. Clyde just says, "Where's Josh Hart?" And I think he's on the phone right now. Is this Josh?
Yes, it is. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Josh? How you doing?
Oh, just sitting here listening to everybody's comments and frustrations, and just down here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, working, enjoying the evening.
Yeah, you're everywhere. I've never been to. That's one state I haven't been to. New Mexico. Caden, have you been to New Mexico?
I don't think I have. No.
What is there anything good in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Josh?
I mean, I guess if you like gambling, you can gamble here. So, I mean, that's one good thing.
Gambling.
I've only gambled on horse races and nothing else. So
yeah, same, and I didn't win.
Here.
I don't think I've ever been in a casino. I'm not a big. I don't know. I don't even think I would ever want to go to Vegas or anything. Like I'm just not that kind of guy, sort of.
Yeah.
But
so I got a coach for you guys, and I don't know if anybody said it because I've been on the phone with show back and forth. But one person that played under Rick Pitino and I think would be a good coach is Travis Ford.
There we go. Yeah, Travis Ford. I think he's a viable option. Wait, was he at Caden? Wasn't he at Oklahoma State when you were there?
Yeah, he was at Oklahoma State, and there was a bunch of. Yeah, from what I hear, it didn't end well at Oklahoma State. I don't really know what happened, but I know when I was there after he left, but they didn't care too much for Travis Ford. I'm not sure what happened though.
Yeah, but he would be loved at Kentucky. Also, John Pelfrey wore 34, and who was it? There's a couple of others that wore 34.
Oh, that's right. Pelfrey wore 34. Yeah, I feel like we've had a lot of 34s.
Kenny Walker wore 34, and Scott Pageant wore 34.
Scott Pageant, that's right. I've met Scott Pageant. He was one of my coaches at Calipari camp when I went and back in the old days. So
see, Josh has all this knowledge from like the 90s that we don't have, Coleman. It's good to
we don't have
guys like him on the show.
We don't have this 90s knowledge. So it's Josh is our 90s consultant.
Yeah. I'm real frustrated with Calipari. Our next 5 games, I was looking at it here the other day. I stayed just to talk about this. Kentucky plays Tennessee this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get beat. We're probably going to get, and I hate to say that, but I think we're going to get Alabama beat. I really do. And I don't want us to get beat, but I think we're going to get beat like that because Tennessee is a top 5 team, and they're really good. And then we play Georgia at Rupp Arena. I don't know what Georgia's doing, but if they're better in South Carolina, then we got our hands full with them. And then we play Texas A&M at Rupp Arena, and then we go on the road for Vanderbilt, and then we go on the road. Maybe not on the road for Kansas. I don't know if Kansas is neutral. Or
no, Kansas is in Rupp. It's in Rupp.
But I mean, honestly, looking at the schedule, the next 5 games, I hate to say it, we'll be lucky to win 2.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what we've seen. I mean, it's hard to not think that. So
the only 2 I think that we're going to win is Georgia and Vanderbilt. I think we'll lose to A&M. I think we'll lose to Kansas, and I think we'll lose to Tennessee, unfortunately.
Hey, we got people like Kenny B saying Final Four.
Yeah, hey, I mean, and there are
some positive Cal fans in here tonight.
We got some positive people in here, and I'm all about being positive. I am. If we go to the Final Four, Kenny B in here says Final Four with the group coming in, Cal all the way. Well, I think that the group coming in, he means the Wagner group.
Oh, the group coming in, yeah.
I don't think anybody thinks this team's going to the Final Four.
Next year we're coming to the Final Four.
Next year, gotcha. But
he still says he's sticking with Cal, though. So
I've been watching Kentucky since 1990. I've been mad. I've cried. I cried when Laker hit the shot in 92. I've cried over Kentucky football. I bleed blue, hardcore. Nobody can never say, "Oh, this guy doesn't." He's just a sometimer. I truly love the University of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. I love our games. I even love our baseball program. I wish they do a little bit better. But I love the University of Kentucky, and I have since 1990. And it's just so heartbreaking. Everybody's like, "Oh, you get upset because it's a couple losses." It's not just that. It's been the last 4 to 5 years.
That's exactly right. Results. That's exactly right.
So it's getting tiresome. It's like, when are you going to win, Cal? We keep on hearing, "I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it." What are you fixing? Because you're not doing anything right now. And like I said, I just get so frustrated with his excuses. First it was Oscar, then it was this, then it was the fans, and then it's, I mean, who's he going to vote? I mean, who's he going to blame next? Liam? Coach Liam coming back from the Rams?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know what he needs to say? I'm the one that's not got the team going in the right direction. It's on me and me only.
And that's something I was going to bring up about. We're obviously going to bring up that now. It's official. Liam Cohen is coming back. But one thing that Liam said in some of his early media interviews about coming back to Kentucky is, I kind of left this team hanging when I went to the Rams, and I felt an obligation to come back and make things right because I felt like I was partially responsible with how things went this football season. And that took a lot of guts for him to say. And I think that's what a lot of people want Cal to say, is just to show some humility and take some responsibility for what's going on, which he's done a little bit of. But I think that's really what people have been frustrated about with him.
Combs' interview, he seems like he was seriously legit sorry that he left. And he wished he would have been here this season. And honestly, unless they just got rid of him, I don't think he'll ever leave again. I think he'll be at UK. And when Stoops decides to go, maybe Liam will be the next head coach. And I'll be cool with that. Because he's
it's a possibility. That's a scenario I played out in my head. I mean, I don't think that's crazy. But he is in a 3-year contract. He's going to make almost $2 million a year as a coordinator, which is pretty crazy. And he will have a buyout as a coordinator. He has a buyout. So, I mean, that's me says he is going to stick around. So,
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just, I mean, I've been through the ups. I've been through the downs. I've been through, it just seems like there's going to be a lot more downs this year. And I heard something the other day. I can't remember. I follow so many UK forums and Facebook pages and stuff, but I heard that the reason they're having so much instability and discourse right now is because of Oscar. They're jealous of him and his NIL deals.
That's what people are saying. That's what Matt Jones of KSR is saying.
Well, they should win National Player of the Year. Then they can.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I mean, if you're National Player of the Year, like, I mean, you shouldn't be jealous. I mean, I get jealousy happens, but I mean, Oscar deserves everything that he's earned. So,
it sounds like he didn't come from much growing up, too. So,
yeah, he came from another country, and it's he deserves everything he's gotten. So,
I mean, I just feel bad for him because he wants to win so bad. And yes, he had a horrible game versus Alabama. He did. He had a horrible game.
Yep.
But okay, he's had one bad game, and I mean, I've heard people say that Wheeler's the best we got. If Wheeler's the best we got, we're in trouble because Wheeler can't hit the broadside of the barn on a free throw.
Yeah.
Hey, he's been hitting some threes, though.
Free throws matter.
Yeah, free throws do matter. No, I agree. They do matter.
It's just go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I mean, we're speechless about it. I mean, like, what more do you say? Yeah, absolutely. We're all in the same boat about all this stuff. But, well, your coach was Travis Ford. You got that on there. Did you have anything else before we let you go?
One more thing. I'm not dogging Wheeler, but I mean, when the announcers, when they call the games, and when you hear them, when they're like, Wheeler's at the line, and he shoots and he misses, and then they shoot, and when Wheeler shoots again and he misses, you can just tell that the commentators are like, hit your free throws. Hit your free throws, kid.
The commentators are like, man, can you believe this?
Is it mental?
Yes.
It's got to be. I'm completely convinced.
Shooting free throws or what? Is it a mental game? Or?
I'm completely convinced it's mental. Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Caden?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. They shouldn't have to. I mean, it should be muscle memory at this point, but they're so far in their head that I think they're overthinking every single little step.
Absolutely. Well, man.
If Calipari doesn't get them in the tournament, does he just say, you know what, I'm sorry I can't get it done. I don't think I have it in me no more. Do you think he'll just decide to retire if he can't get this team to the tournament? Is he saying that he's going to get them there?
I think it's very unlikely that he retires on that. I mean, he retires on this note. I do think it's plausible that he could leave to go to another school and end on a high note at another school like Texas. I do think that's plausible, but I don't think Cal wants to go out like this in any scenario. And I mean, he does have an old school Cal recruiting class coming in next year, which could, I mean, very well be that he comes back and does well with that team and then retires after next year. I mean, there's a bunch of different scenarios and ways that this Cal stuff could play out. So it's really hard to know at this point what's gonna happen.
Okay. One last thing, and I'm going to get off it.
No worries.
We got all this talent coming in. Like we had talent coming in this year, which apparently is not as good as what we believed it. If we have all this talent coming in next year, and he doesn't produce the championship, then what? Is it time for him to go? Because we are.
He's done no matter what.
Yeah, I think he's gone. Yeah, I think he's gone after next year in some form or fashion. Whether that means that he's. I mean, if he can't win with the team next year, I don't think he's winning again. Like I think his last year at Kentucky will be after next year. In my opinion, if you're asking me to put money on it today, that would be what I would say. So,
but is anyone going to care? Like,
make the tournament?
Do you think we make the tournament this year? I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
How many years straight will that be without an NCAA tournament win?
Well, what do you think, Kate? Well, that would be if we don't make the tournament this year, then we would go into next year's tournament not having won a game in 5 years in the tournament.
So, who even cares if we win a championship next year at that point? I mean, is the fan base going to be so far gone that it's not even going to matter?
No, I mean, national championship's always a national championship, I think. But, Caden, do you think we'll make the tournament this year?
We need a win this weekend.
We do. So,
we need a quad one win. Yes.
Yeah, we need to start winning and winning now. We actually needed to start winning yesterday, but yeah, we need to win now. So
I'm gonna say if we lose this weekend, no, we won't.
I was so bad. It kills me. I don't want to watch game and sit here and watch them lose. I want to win. I want us to win. I want us to win number 9 this year. I do. I want it all in my heart.
Yep.
But it just gets so frustrating when you lose to South Carolina at Rupp Arena.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You're like, what? You're like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's not like I was saying before. It's not even something that you're angry about anymore. It just becomes sad at that point. It is what I was feeling. So.
Yeah, it's like I mean, they fought so hard and they almost came back and won. And I was rooting. I was sitting there right there on the bed, rooting. I was like, "Come on, guys, let's go. Come on, get this game. Let's go. I know y'all sucked all game, but struggled all game, but let's get it. Come on, please." And we just didn't do it. And I don't know. I want to win. I want to win bad. I want to beat Tennessee so bad. They shut them up.
Yeah. Oh, there's nothing worse than losing to Tennessee. I mean, absolutely.
So
I mean,
I love our team. I even care about Calipari. Please, he needs to figure it out and really quick. But thank you guys for taking my time and my comment. And thank you for the show. I'm grateful for you guys. And let's just hopefully some way, somehow we can pull that miracle out Saturday.
That would be big, and I'm going to be cheering for it. I think we're all going to be cheering for a win. All of us want to win. That's all we want. But, yeah, go Cats, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right,
Thanks, Josh.
Dude. So we're still.
Hey, we got our Shaden Sharp update in.
I know. I was getting ready to say Shaden Sharp has averaged 4.5 points in the last 3 games and 15 minutes per game. Officially overrated. Oh,
dude, he's pulling out all the stats tonight.
Cody's calling him overrated now.
Is he too overrated to have helped us win a tournament game?
I don't think it mattered who was playing. I don't think if Michael Jordan in his prime was playing, it would have mattered last year. Caden, the phones are ringing off the hook tonight. We're getting another call right now.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah. From number I don't know here, but hey, Ron, with Talkin Kentucky, who's this?
Hey guys, it's Scott.
Hey Scott, what's going on?
Hey Scott,
that might be you. Yeah. How's it? It's your second call.
Yep. I'm just,
Yep. We all are.
Yeah, we feel you.
We feel you there. You're not alone and feeling disappointed. That's for sure.
And I wrote kind of like a monologue thing, to really express how I feel. This was before the South Carolina game. Is all right if I read it? It's not very long.
Oh yeah, go for it. No, absolutely.
I call it tough shot. I said, here's the tough shot. The University of Kentucky does not want to lose John Calipari to any school, especially Texas, who will take a back seat to football. What this fan base has to realize is when they throw up these stats from 2020 to now, firstly, you're tossing out all the other stats, which is unfair. Secondly, when Calipari started this transfer player system, it clearly does not fit in his coaching type of players that have already established identity and playing style. Thirdly, what this team is missing is a player that is in the NBA, Shaden Sharp, a bucket getter who can hit a three, but also go in the lane and score and draw a foul. Severe's too small. Carson is a 3-and-D player, and Reeves is a space creator that looks for the three, and CJ is just the three-point sharpshooter. We still have half a season left, and anything is possible. And last but not least, we have a highly talented class coming in next year with a lot of pieces that we haven't seen since 2015. Plus, I guarantee you the players from this team will stay for next year. So let's have unity as a fan base and support our team, the best team, the Kentucky Wildcats. So put that in your shot glass and drink it.
Listen to that, Caden. That's good. That deserves a round of applause. I mean, that sums up like how we feel there. That all we want's to win, man. And like that's why all the people saying if you want a change with Cal, we're not saying we don't like Cal. We're saying that we just want to win and we want what's best for Kentucky basketball. That's all that matters. And that's not a single person. It's not players. That's just
coach.
Coach, it's Kentucky basketball. Let's make Kentucky basketball again. So
I don't really think the best option is for Kentucky to go out and get another coach, because if we get another coach, whoever it may be, Nate Oates, whoever they're saying, the signing players for the new recruits coming in is over. So they're not going to be able to go and get anybody else, really. And if you bring in another coach, it's going to be another rebuilding year. And they're just going to be mad again, and maybe the next year. Because who's going to handle that pressure? That's a lot.
Scott, when's enough going to be enough? Is my question. Like, if we have 8 straight seasons of not making the tournament, I mean, are we still? Is that okay?
No, it's not okay. But, like I said before, Kentucky was dominant. And, we just hit a rough patch through this area, especially at early of the 2020s. So, I mean, I think at least you give him another shot and try to refocus and really determine if this is what you want. Because whatever happens to him, and you try to get another coach or whatever, I mean, it's going to be hard either way. I mean, you get another coach, we might miss the tournament again. This is completely rebuild.
Yeah. No.
Like an NBA.
It's one of those things where it's tough because you have a class that's coming in next year that's an old school Cal class, and really, if he can't win next year with that team, then it's like, well, then what's he doing? But I mean, so it's tough to say it's tough to say, do you give him another chance or whatever? I mean, I see valid points on both sides. That's for sure.
Marcia made a comment when the conference tournament will help them next year, at least.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good point. I mean, I think that will bring a little bit of positivity that we might need to get us going next year. So
one thing Cal's good at is getting teams to play well in March. I mean, he's historically been good at that. So we won't truly know until we get to that. I mean, if we go win the SEC tournament and then go to the NCAA, I mean, who knows? I mean, that's always on the table. That's always a path to the tournament if we go win the SEC. So we'll see.
I definitely don't want to count this team out. I still want to have faith in them. You've always got to be behind your team no matter what. It's your team. I just think that Calipari's way of going through the transfers and portal is just not his cup of tea. And everybody says we've had this downfall.
Yeah.
Because, yes, it is true that he thrives off these higher recruits. That may be true. But if he's doing it, you can't really say anything. If it's working, it was working. Now, from like 2015 to there, after like 2016, it was kind of a down year, but we lost a lot of people. And after 2012, 2013, we missed the tournament. So, you're not going to be great every year, but they were at least making the tournament and winning tournament games. But of course now they're not. But like I said, with 2020, how hard that was, and we just haven't had a real rebuild and get a good recruiting class in there.
Yeah.
Because now he's adding these transfers, and that's just not him. I think he took the wrong direction when he started doing that.
Yeah. Well, man, Scott, thanks for calling in again. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching and listening and everything. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and I hope that that message kind of gets out to people, and maybe they take another angle at this, kind of a split between the fan base. And if you don't, that's okay. So I'll definitely keep listening. And
absolutely. Well, one thing we forgot to ask: who would be your coach if you were to replace? I mean, I know you want to give Cal a chance, but who would you add to this list that we have here?
I haven't been able to listen to fully, everybody. Jay Wright.
Jay Wright was number one on our list. Yeah, we got Jay Wright,
Okay.
Brad Stevens, Bruce Pearl, Billy Donovan, Scott Drew, Nate Oates, the Purdue guy, and Travis Ford.
Yeah. That was most of mine.
Jay Wright's a good answer, though.
Jay Wright is like, yeah, we
That's
can
2 votes. That's 2 votes for Jay Wright.
Yeah.
3 votes for Jay Wright.
Eric Musselman, is that his
Eric
name?
Musselman
Okay.
at Arkansas. That's a good one. Yeah. Did you know that he is almost 60 years old? He doesn't look it, but he's like
I didn't know that.
59, I think.
I would guess like 45.
But so he falls in that category of kind of, is he too old to take another job kind of thing. So, yeah.
And his name slipped in my mind. The guy from Gonzaga. I can't think of his name.
Oh, Mark Few. Yeah, that could be a very good one too. Well, man, thanks again for calling in.
I really don't see Calipari going. And I don't know. Nobody knows. So
no, that's that. You nailed it there. Nobody knows. That's for sure. But well, thanks again for calling in, man.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
all right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Scott. Man, Caden, the comment section's like lighting up tonight.
Oh yeah, it's blowing up. I think we even graduated to the point where we got haters now.
Yeah, we probably do.
We're not gonna show their comments because we don't want to give them any.
Oh no, sure.
But yeah, I think we graduated to trolls.
Oh, I think so too. We got everybody in here, man. That's for sure. But well, I wanted to. So we've had so many calls, we haven't really gotten my list of topics on here yet. We've been on here over an hour, but we did talk about Liam Cohen returning, so we already talked about that. I mean, we all expected that and everything. Kyle Tucker broke a huge story today that had a lot of sort of tea in it. It is National Tea Day today, so it's a good day for Kyle Tucker to break that story. Had a lot of tea in it of Mitch Barnhart and Calipari and some kind of internal stuff that was going on, including the fact that Coach Cal has raised $30 million from former players who have donated to build a new practice facility. And allegedly, Barnhart won't let him do that, won't let him build that on campus. In addition to that, Cal is wanted to hire a quote-unquote offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, quote-unquote, as part of the staff. And even though Kentucky's basketball staff is smaller than most other collegiate basketball programs, Mitch has refused to do that, has refused to accommodate that. So seems like there's some stuff that Calipari wants to do that Mitch is kind of blocking. And basically the conclusion that you draw from Kyle Tucker's article is there might be some things going on internally with Mitch that have caused problems. And Mitch might even be part of the issue here too. So I don't know, Kate, that was kind of shocking for me to hear today.
Yeah, it does shock me. Like, is that like a spiteful move from Calipari? Like, since you're not going to give me this practice facility, I'm just going to go raise the money on my own from the billions of dollars in contracts I've given NBA players. Like, is that like out of spite he's doing that? Because obviously Barnhart's not going to like that. Be for that idea. No.
Well, and this leaking, that information leaking at the time that it has, seems like it's a direct shot from Cal to Barnhart. And I'll even quote one of Matt Jones's tweets from earlier today. He's the one that kind of put all that stuff out. I mean, I know Kyle Tucker wrote it in the article, but Matt really brought it up today. Said, well, he said Liam Cohen will be a guest on KSR Radio tomorrow, so that'll be nice. Kate, when are we going to start getting Liam Cohen on our show?
Let's do it. We've got to know someone that knows Liam Cohen, right?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Well, Clyde's got all sources lately. He says he's talking to Tim from Wildcat Sports Talk and everything.
Yeah, Clyde can say something. Maybe after we get Perry Stevenson on here.
This is the tweet I wanted to read from Matt. He said, hard not to see the leaking of the practice facility situation as a straight shot from Calipari at Barnhart. It's clear that UK basketball, UK athletic situation is a disaster. So much going on right now in UK basketball world, and not a lot of it is great. So, yeah, that's
kind of gives you a feeling that something's about to go.
David Holmes in the comments here says, fire Mitch. He gave us Gillespie. Well, you can't argue with that. He did give us Gillespie and the lifetime contract. I mean, he did give us both of those. So
who's Mitch's boss? Is it Capilouto? Who's above Mitch? Who does Mitch have to answer to?
I guess it would be Capilouto, and above Capilouto would be the trustees, and above that, I don't know. I guess it'd be Joe Biden or something.
Well, that reminds me, though. Did you see the picture of that stadium before the game the other night, Coleman?
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't that sad? Like that. I feel like that's like is making it obvious that something's about to go. Like when you can't even sell tickets.
It was the worst. That had to have been the worst attended SEC game in Rupp Arena, maybe ever, but definitely in the Cal era, right? Yeah. I mean, outside of COVID.
I know at Florida A&M, that place was almost packed.
Yeah,
like because the tickets were $10 a piece, but
so you see, I knew as soon as I said Joe Biden, all the comments would start lighting up. But anyway,
a buzzword.
Yeah, it is a buzzword these days. It's two words actually. Some might say, but well, the other thing is PTI. Pardon the interruption. The ESPN show led off with the should Calipari leave Kentucky kind of question, and everybody's been talking about it, and so I wanted to roll that clip on our show too, and sort of talk about that. So let's roll this clip from PTI.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Sean McVay ponders his future. The NBA hits the halfway mark, and Booger McFarland joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with John Calipari and his Kentucky Wildcats being booed at home last night while losing to SEC doormat South Carolina. One fan held up a sign that read, "Please go to Texas." The fan but the preseason number 4 Wildcats are now 10-6, 1-3 in the SEC. Wilbon, Kentucky hasn't won an NCAA tournament game since 2019. Could you see this being Calipari's last season at Kentucky?
I think I could, Tony, but more importantly than seeing it as his last year, I just sort of privately, well, it's not private anymore, so I'm saying it, I hope it's his last year. John Calipari, he can, with the transfer portal being what it is and how it reshapes college sports, both particularly football and basketball, others too, but particularly those. John Calipari, as great a coach as he is, and as great a recruiter, an attractor of talent. John Calipari can be like a pop-up store. He can go any damn place in America, and he's a Northeastern guy largely. He can go set up shop anywhere, and in one season be in the tournament, and 2, a threat to win the tournament. So John Calipari can walk on the floor in Lexington. He won't do this. I would do this. He can give people a double bird if he wants. He can say, I'll walk right out of here. I'll take half these kids with me. It'd be like Dion and only more because Calipari's done this at the highest college level. Dion may very well. Are you kidding me? And at Kentucky, where they go crazy over any little development, they could go crazy over seeing Cal and his pop-up store somewhere else.
I've got to tell you that when I heard about this, I was stunned that they're booing. It's a basketball school. I understand they're rabid fans. I get Big Blue. I get all of that. You're booing a guy who won a national championship and went to 3 Final Fours. You're booing a guy who basically has stocked half the teams in the NBA with Kentucky players. Now, I understand that Cal is somewhat responsible for this because of the style that he has embraced in recruiting. Because nobody has embraced the one and done more than Cal. And he says to players all the time, he says to his recruits, my job is to get you ready for the NBA. So consequentially, the recruits have no loyalty to the University of Kentucky, and the fans of Kentucky have no loyalty to people that are only going to be there for a year. There's a revolving door there. They're always reloading. I understand that. But you're booing this guy?
Seriously.
Really? You know what he should do? He should go to Texas. And he should go to Texas because in 2 years, wait a second, the SEC, and he can beat Kentucky at Kentucky.
That's true, but I wouldn't go to Texas. John Calipari can go to some place where basketball only matters, where there's no football. He doesn't have to deal with football. A campus and a pop-up store can appear the next day, and 6 of the top 20 players in America, whether they're in college already or high school recruits, will come to play for Cal. Are you kidding me? This is what Kentucky plays in Lexington. Oh, my God. All these fans at every great athletic school, they all overrate their own involvement and their own situation. Ball. For how many years now? Oh, let's fire a guy who goes 9-3 because we're better than that. Maybe you're not. Kentucky, please.
I don't know, man.
It's our fault. It's the fans' fault. We just got to be okay with. I don't understand.
I mean, I don't want to discredit everything they said in there, but there was a lot of stuff that, I mean, first of all, and Matt talked about this on this show, they talked about that Kentucky gets one and dones every year. You know, well, that hadn't happened in a while. That's just not the way we play anymore. And our problem is not, we love Cal's recruiting. We don't have a problem with that. We have a problem with the X's and O's coaching on the floor. And my question is, he's recruited the best of the best at Kentucky, just like he said he would do. And he has all the facilities that he needs here at Kentucky to win. If he can't win here, then how is he going to win somewhere else? I mean, this is the gold standard of college basketball. If he can't win here, how is he going to win anywhere else? Kentucky's got to be the easiest place in the country to win. I mean, I would think, right?
And I do see where they say that everyone likes to escalate their own situation, like thinking like the world is ending. Like I know as Kentucky fans, we're guilty of that. But whenever it happens for 3 or 4 years, like there's got to be some truth to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
You can't have a losing record against ranked teams at Kentucky.
No, and we're allowed to be upset about that. Yes, he won a championship, and yes, he's been to Final Fours, but we haven't. Again, as we were talking about earlier, if we don't go to the tournament this year, or if we lose in the first round this year, then it will have been 5 years this time next year since we've won an NCAA tournament game. And that hasn't ever happened at Kentucky. I mean, that just doesn't happen here. That's completely unacceptable. I mean, we fired Billy Gillespie for going to the NIT. We fired Tubby, and he never even missed the NCAA tournament. Tubby never missed the NCAA tournament. And he has a much better record than Cal does in the last 5 years.
Cal's getting a pass right now because of his first 5 years.
Yes, and I don't think that's okay. It's the what have you done for me lately, and I think what you've done for me lately is very important.
Yes.
So, and the fans aren't the problem. The fans have a right to be mad, and Matt brought that up on his show, and we just have a right to be mad. I don't think that there's any reason that we shouldn't be upset about it.
For sure. Completely agree.
Claude said you threw a comment up there. Us fans are not the problem. It's coaching staff and the players and well, that's another thing. Speaking of the coaching staff, our game planning. This is another thing that came out. I think Kyle Tucker put this out too. Our game planning initially was done by John Robick, which is why we're missing him a lot right now because he did all our X's and O's. Then who did our X's and O's was Tony Barbie. Did that for a long time. Now it's a graduate assistant. Apparently, I don't know if that's Tyler Eulis or what, but the fact that a GA is doing
It was Tyler Eulis, we'd be winning.
That's a very good point. I'd probably agree with that. But then what are these other coaches doing? Like what's going on? Kind of thing.
I don't know. I mean, is this kind of like a thing where we have one? Is it like the football program where we got an offensive coach, a defensive coach, or is it not like that at all? I mean, do you know? Who's is it Cal that doesn't want to do the 2-3, or is it another coach?
Oh no, that's Cal. That's Cal making all the decisions.
We need some 2-3 zone. That would solve a lot.
If Kyle's article is right, then he wants to hire a quote unquote offensive and defensive coordinator. I bet that defensive coordinator would play some 2-3 zone. I'd be willing to bet, but that's got to be a Cal decision. He hates zone, and it's clear because we haven't played zone. So, Claude says Cal needs to stop being so scared and go on KSR and talk to Matt Jones. Or he can come on our show too. If you don't want to talk to Matt Jones, he can come on here.
A formal invite.
It was a formal invite. William Neat in here says tradition tells me we don't want one and done, and we don't want kids who don't care about winning here. Let them all leave. Give us a coach who cares about what UK really is. Plenty of players will come here and UK will win. UK is much bigger than Calipari. I do agree that UK is much bigger than Calipari. William Neat is in here saying that. I like that last name, Neat. That's how I drink my bourbon. Neat.
It's a pretty neat name.
That is neat. That is a neat name. Hey, I see what you did there. It's a good one. I completely agree with that. So I'm gonna take down. Wanted to play that PTI clip on here. Thought that would be an important thing to play and talk about because I know some of our fans are irrational sometimes, but I don't think we're being irrational.
Are we irrational? I'm talking Kentucky.
We're not irrational. I don't think we're irrational. Do you think we're irrational?
We are. I don't think we are. No.
No.
I don't want to bash people, like the kids especially, but I don't know. I also want to be honest and straightforward, and things just are not good right now.
Well, we still need one more coach on our list of 10 coaches. So that really means that really means we need one more call, but we do have Jay Wright, Brad Stevens, Bruce Pearl, Billy Donovan, Scott Drew, Nate Oates, Matt Purdue guy, whatever his last name is, Travis Ford, and Eric Musselman. So that means we would need one more on here.
I'm gonna look to see what our following's up to now too.
I think we're still at 994. That's what it's looking like.
Yep, 994.
Hey, I'm counting that. William Neat says Derek Anderson.
Oh, I'm gonna go. I've seen people saying that this week.
Yeah, I think that's a good. Or Mark Pope. That's another good one. I'm gonna go and put Derek Anderson though, because that's because he said that. Said that first. I think Derek Anderson's a good one. The videos he puts out. I mean, Claude says talking 994. It can't be talking 994. It's gotta be talking 1,000.
It's gotta be.
We started off well. We were getting some likes and stuff on here, but we've been on a pause here recently. But we'll see if we can get there before the end. If not, no big deal.
Josh says Phil Jackson. Can Michael Jordan join him?
But hey, share that. See if we can get to 994. Invite your friends. Tell them to go Talkin Kentucky or follow Talkin Kentucky if they don't. See if we can get to 1,000 before we get out of here. I'm just curious to see if you're watching and you don't follow us, hit follow. We'd appreciate it. That'd be awesome. We're just trying to put out our TK1K graphic kind of thing,
That's really all we want to do is put that thing out.
That's really the only reason. Yeah. So Scott Sally says you forgot Mark Few. Okay, well, yeah, Mark.
Did we?
Was too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said two. He said two coaches.
He said two. Right. Yeah, that's why I didn't put it on there. But yeah, Mark Few. He needs. Do you think Mark Few at Kentucky would work? Like, do you think coming from Gonzaga? Do you think that would work?
I don't know.
Do you think he would ever come?
I'm not sure. I also think he's about the same age as Cal too, right? So he might be a little too old.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I would put Rick Barnes on that list, but he's too old, right?
He would be my first pick if he was about 10 years younger.
Over Jay Wright?
He'd be up there.
You would take Rick Barnes over Jay Wright?
He's a good coach and a good man.
He is. I think he's both of those. I hate saying that I like Tennessee's coach, but I like Rick Barnes.
It's okay to like the coach and hate the school.
Well, that's exactly how I would describe that. William Neat says we need a former player to bring back the fans.
There's just no one who's had coaching success who was a former player.
That's true.
We got Tyler Eulis. Is that not enough?
Hey, we do have Tyler Eulis. Yeah, that's right. Cody says run it back with Rick. I mean,
run it back with Richard Pitino.
Richard Pitino. There you go. Now that would be weird. That would be really weird.
Hey, Clyde says Jay Wright, 2 national championships in the last 7 years. That's a stat I can get behind.
I can get behind that for sure. Apparently, Liam Cohen, his priority number one when he comes back is to fix the offensive line or get the offensive line better, which seems like a good, after watching this season, Caden, even with your limited knowledge of football, not that I'm a football genius, but with your new football experience, I think you can see that the offensive line is probably our biggest problem from this year, biggest thing it needs addressing. So,
yeah, and we don't want our quarterback to get injured again because of our offensive line. So I think that's a good first step.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. It is too. Did you see that? Did you see the guy that had the Texas sign in Rupp Arena?
I did.
That's what do you think? So they made him. They confiscated it, and they ended up kicking him out. Confiscated sign. But there's other signs in Rupp Arena. I mean, there's the Oscar rebound counter. Like, I mean, ultimately, the reason that they took the sign was because of what it said. Like, whether they say that or not, that's ultimately why they took the sign. So, do you think it's fair that, like, do you think he should be able to have a sign like that and holding up in Rupp Arena, or do you think that they did the right thing by confiscating it?
I mean, it doesn't have bad language, or it's not a raunchy sign or anything, so nothing like that. But at the same time, it's pretty bad taste to pay for a ticket for the game and then bring a sign that's bashing your coach. But also, in a sense, it's free speech, so I don't really see that big of a deal.
Well,
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it either. But there's going to be more signs that come into Rupp Arena. Next year. There's even next week.
I'm sure there's been worse signs, way worse signs that have come in.
That's true.
Usually they don't make it past the door, so I'm just kind of shocked that one did.
Somebody made a sign a few years ago that said Pitino knew, and I think that one got to stay up. But
said what?
Pitino knew.
New.
Yeah. Like K-N-E-W.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Josh Hart says, "What about that Georgia game? What an absolute beatdown! Biggest win in championship history. Yeah, what was it, 65-7? I watched the whole game, but I can't tell you why I watched the whole game. I don't know why I sat there and watched that. That sucked. What the Georgia players were doing on the sideline in the third quarter.
You cut out. What'd you say?
You see what the Georgia players were doing in the third quarter?
No, I didn't see it. What happened?
On the sideline? They were eating chicken wings on the sideline in the third quarter. So that's when you know something's wrong. Yeah. Well, that's what I would love that. Like if I were a Georgia fan, like I would love that. If that happened in Kentucky, can you imagine like in the 2014-15 year, if Karl Anthony Towns was just on the
Tyler
bench,
Eulis is over there
eating an ice cream cone, or eating dinner, like taking a nap on the sideline. I mean, that's essentially what we were doing to teams. We would love that.
Especially UCLA.
Awesome. Oh yeah, to UCLA, 42-7. Man, those were better times. Those were better. We're gonna get back to that.
All we want to do is get back to that. I don't care if Cal's the coach or someone else. Like
if Cal does it, I'll be the first to shake his hand. And Cal could say, "I told you so, suck it," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll suck
you deserve to tell me that.
Yeah, like that's
I don't know if I
fine.
go that far, but
Just win. Just win, man. That's all we care about. William Neat says, "Let's let Stoops coach this team. At least we'll be good on defense." that's
yes,
true. Or
Stoops would play 2-3.
yeah, Stoops would play a 2-3 zone. I think he would. I think he absolutely would. Or we need Liam Cohen to coach, and we get some points happening. Why can't we put that Liam Cohen's contract? That would ensure that he would be here even longer, like that as a secondary responsibility on his contract. Head coach of Kentucky men's basketball. That's like third or fourth down the list.
Yeah, draw up plays for CJ Frederick. That can be a bullet point.
Also coach teams on UK. Yeah, that would be good. But there's not. I mean, like Wandale for point guard. William Neat says, "Hey, Wandale's from my hometown. He's
Tyler Eulis should just run it back again."
Yeah, it'd be like having Wandale. Josh Hart says, "Cal talking smack about the football team. Gotta hit him. This karma." Well, something else between Mitch and Cal that came out today in Cal's article. Apparently, Cal wanted to publicly apologize about that, but Mitch didn't let him because Mitch wanted to do the press conference first and be the one to speak first on the situation. And apparently that made Calipari mad because he wanted to come out and apologize. So that's another thing that adds to all this.
If that's true, that's kind of dumb. I feel like Cal should have probably been able to apologize.
Yeah, like, I mean, coming away, if all this stuff's true about Mitch that's come out today, I mean, then he needs to take some responsibility for all this too. So, his team needs heart transplant except for Oscar. That's yeah.
Oscar is the heart of the team.
Each one needs a little bit of Oscar. Cody, what bothers me most is that Cal says all the right things in the post game. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'll listen to his post game for the first time all season after South Carolina, and he did say a lot of good stuff. Literally word for word what our frustrations are during the game. I just don't get it. It's got to be something where the players are giving him the FU, and that still falls on him because it's chemistry.
Yeah, and we're just never the aggressors. You know what I mean? Like, especially on defense, like we're talking about. We're never, like, you go back and watch those John Wall teams, it started on defense, and that's what led to all those fast breaks and highlight reels. And this, we just don't have that. Sometimes we do, like some games, but it's not consistent.
No.
It just strikes me as laziness, and I hate to say that because some players are giving it their all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's look. Well, I was gonna give a little update on the Kentucky South Carolina women's game because it was almost tied at halftime. But South Carolina just beat them 95-66, so didn't go as well as I was hoping it might go. But
they replicated the men's performance. Huh?
They did. I bet Emma King scored though.
She probably did. It's a safe bet. She's a good shooter.
How do you know she's a good shooter?
I watched Midnight Madness.
Have you watched her since?
No, but I just have a guess. Look up right now Emma King's stat line. Guarantee you she hit a 3.
You guarantee that Emma King hit a 3?
Yeah, guarantee it.
Okay, I'm looking up her stats right now from tonight. Okay, she where is it? Okay,
like
Emma
trying
King,
to find a volleyball championship.
Yeah, that's right. Well, this was a little bit easier than that. Actually, a lot easier than that. She played 12 minutes. Maybe
she didn't hit a 3.
Oh wait, no, that's her. Is that her average for the season? It's under the South Carolina thing. Okay, maybe I just need to go to South Carolina box score. Okay, maybe this is as hard as the freaking volleyball championship. That was the hardest thing to find ever. The volleyball
It
Final
still
Four.
doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Okay. So Emma King tonight. Let me find her. Well, she's not showing up on the box score, so that's not a good.
Is she injured?
She on injured reserve. Yeah, it looks like she didn't play tonight, Caden. So I'm gonna go with no. She didn't hit a three.
She must be injured or something. She's
Maybe
a natural.
Maybe she's getting benched.
I don't know what they're doing. I mean, that's probably that's why they didn't beat South Carolina.
Yeah,
Had Emma King on the bench.
Yeah, she could have dropped 40 on him. We need to have Emma King on the show. Caden's Emma King's biggest fan.
Hey, we know multiple Emma Kings. We could have eight.
We could have there's a flute player Emma King, and then there's a basketball player Emma King. We could have them
Clyde's
both.
an Emma King fan too, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like Clyde is an Emma King fan there in the comments. So, Josh Hart says Lady Cats have drama. Yeah, even the Lady Cats have drama. The coach, I say the coach there isn't that good. Well, I mean, she had a bad season last year, but she won the first SEC championship in the history of the school. So, got to keep her around, right? So, and they beat South Carolina. So, but there is drama going on there too between somebody that transferred. Dre Edwards transferred. She's at Baylor, and Kentucky won't let her play, kind of thing. So it's like it's a whole sort of thing. So there's all kinds of drama going on in the Kentucky athletics department right now. But not on Talking Kentucky. We don't have any drama. We just talk about the drama of the athletic department. That's all. That's what we're here to do, really. When it's all said and done at the end of the day. I don't know that it's even worth doing predictions against Tennessee because, I mean, is it? Are you going to watch the game? I want to hear in the comments who's actually going to watch the Tennessee game.
Okay,
So
I will watch it. I didn't watch
watching,
the South Carolina game. I'll watch the Tennessee game.
Say watching or not watching in the comments for the Tennessee game. To tell us if you're going to watch or not watch. I'll watch. I'll go ahead and say I'll watch.
We'll watch it like a national championship. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be up off my. I'll be coaching for my.
That's how we're going to save our season, Coleman. It's by beating Tennessee this weekend.
William Neat says, "Are you guys from y'all?" Well, I'm glad you asked. We're sort of new. We started last May, so we're still in the earliest stages of our podcast. But we go live right here on our Facebook page every Thursday night at 7:00 Central, 8:00 Eastern. Sometimes we do post game shows too. And then we upload, the podcast up to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. Too after.
Hey, and William, now that you asked, I wrote an article called Talkin Roots. If you want to read how we started, it's on our website.
Yeah, it's
talkinkentucky.wordpress.com.
That's right.
Throw that out there.
Yeah. So we appreciate you watching tonight. So,
yeah, we do.
That's very neat of you. So, well, if we don't get to 1,000, I think this episode. I mean, we name. We name each episode, since we're talking Kentucky, we name each episode like Talkin' something. So if this episode isn't talking TK1K, if we don't hit 1,000, then it needs to be Talking Neat. I think, Caden. I think that's
a good idea. Either Talking Neat or he can name it, since this is his first time.
Yeah, either one. So absolutely. Well, we're still at 994. So we're going to hit it like within the next 24 hours, but it might not be on this episode. It looked like we might hit it for a while. So talking Jay Wright, I will say if Jay Wright is the next head basketball coach at the University of Kentucky, we're going to call we're going to we were right and spell it WRIGHT because we called it. I feel like we started the Jay Wright movement. I feel like people weren't talking about it before us.
I swear we called it. I mean, we called it months ago. But
and people from PTI, even at the beginning of this PTI episode from yesterday, I played the clip from. They said it's National Spicy Something Day or whatever. They were doing holidays.
We started the holidays too.
PTI has never done that. I swear. They've been listening to Talkin. Hey, Gonzaga's beating BYU 9-8 right now. In case anybody's wondering.
Cool.
All right.
Can't go wrong with the right.
BYU's winning now. 10-9. BYU's winning. Heck yeah. Let's go down. Bring down Tim A. Let's get that upset.
Where's that at? Is that the kennel?
I think it's at BYU. I think it's over in Provo.
They need to get away from their home court sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they need to do that. But
hey, William Neat said can't go wrong with the right. It's a good one.
That's a really good title, and you can't go wrong with the right. Well, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. Caden's dad, Scott Holmes, the other day said, "I don't know how you all muster up the courage to keep doing this, or like in the midst of all the bad stuff, or the motivation to do these shows."
And I said, "Well, we haven't done a post-game show in a while."
Yeah, that's true. Because there's not much to say, but we talked to. There's a lot to say tonight between the callers, and although we went almost 2 hours here, so. Well, guys, if you don't already, help us get to that TK1K mark and follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. So we'd really appreciate that. Starting this year, normally we don't leave our episodes up. We only upload them on podcast, but we're going to, starting this year, we're leaving these videos up forever, and we're also putting them up on our YouTube channel, which we're really trying to get our YouTube channel going. So subscribe to Talkin Kentucky on YouTube as well. We put some good stuff up on there. We put up some funny videos too. We like to pride ourselves on some of the funny things that we post on our Facebook and YouTube channels. So give us a subscription there. And we're on Twitter too. We're not real active on Twitter, but we're trying to get that going a little bit. So follow the show on Twitter at Talkin_Kentucky. And most importantly, to help us sort of grow as a podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you would support us through Patreon. And I think Caden is best or in the, not the podcast, a link to our website in the feed here. Josh Hart says it's the bourbon that keeps you going. Yeah, that's true. But he's put a link in there. If you would like to support us on Patreon, you can get a coffee mug or a sticker in the mail from Talkin Kentucky. If you help us
maybe
keep
some
the
hats
lights
one day.
Yeah, well, that I was going to say, especially, speaking to Josh Hart, he wants one of these hats that I have on, and we're going to have these available for y'all soon. So, we'll keep you up to date on that. But for now, click that link to help us keep the lights on as a podcast, or pay John Calipari's buyout or whatever. But anyway,
fundraiser.
I think somebody did start a GoFundMe. I think it's raised like $5 so far. So a little ways to go, but anyway.
Hey, we just want Cal to win.
We just want Cal to win.
That's
We're not
preferable.
We're
I
not
don't
calling.
want to just bash people on our show. I really do want Cal to win.
Yeah, we're not calling for his job. We're just calling for wins. We just want to win. Man, that's all is that too much to ask for, Caden? We just want to win games. We just want to beat South Carolina. I love the Tony Kornheiser. He was like, SEC doormat, South Carolina.
I love that. That's my favorite part.
The way he said doormat, SEC doormat. I got to play that again before we end the show. I need to play the beginning till it gets to there.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Sean McVay ponders his future. The NBA hits the halfway mark, and Booger McFarland joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with John Calipari and his Kentucky Wildcats being booed at home last night while losing to SEC doormat South Carolina. One fan held.
He said it. He said it so
Doormat.
angrily. SEC doormat, South Carolina. We need to have that as like a drop on our show every time we play South Carolina. SEC doormat, South Carolina. Could be talking doormat, but that's true.
Oh, we don't want to offend Will from South Carolina.
That's right. Hey, William Neat like sums it up. A win at this point will do. At this point, a win will do. So let's just win. Let's just win, Caden. How about that?
I'm just saying, if we beat Tennessee this weekend, our tone will change, right, Coleman?
Yes.
New season. After we beat Tennessee, it's only up from here.
Well, I think it's only up from here anyway because it can't get worse. So, but thanks, guys, for listening. We really appreciate it. I think this is episode number 34, Talking Neat. Are you good with that, Caden?
Let's do it.
Okay, Talking Neat for William Neat being on with us for the first time. So,
thank you, William.
For Coleman Scott, for Caden Holmes, and for doormats, for Tony Kornheiser, and for the future of Kentucky basketball, let's just win. Let's beat Tennessee, please. This has been episode number 34 of Talking Kentucky, and we'll see you next time. Go Cats.